That sets the video timing. That's what I did when I did the podcast. I clapped, and the guy started clapping. He thought we were having like a party or something.
It's like, oh, round of applause.
Okay, so everybody could see here the Hurst Olds. What we're dealing with is trying to fix some little stuff in here. We had to clean up all the little rust areas. That's what Lewis is kind of taking some of the. What are you taking out? Urethane, bondo?
Both. Trying to get everything out of the corners.
So it's looking pretty clean. You see there's some stuff we have to deal with on the floors. But for the most part, it's looking good. Rick had to take a break from the wheel because his hands were frozen.
Yes.
People don't realize the pain we have to go through and the time it takes to do this. So we just got to pull the rear window out, clean that up. Lewis found that rust over there. We're going to have to deal with that.
This stuff?
Yeah.
It's a little soft. Not too terrible.
Well, this is the Monday mortuary.
Monday mortuary.
It sucks coming to work on a Monday, doesn't it?
Especially when it's 13 degrees outside.
I don't enjoy that at all. Man,
You know what I think is the worst part? It's a little warmer where I'm at, so when I come over here, it just gets colder the further I drive.
Wait, you're thinking it's warmer up north?
It's warmer in East Hartford. It was like 15 this morning.
Was it really? It's usually colder northern. Oh yeah, so Lewis already pulled out the dash, so that's been different. Dash is removed. We got a new dash going in. Obviously, we're gonna fix the floors, put new carpets, new headliner. See all that, and then you see we welded the roof up. So now it's metal instead of a hole. Pretty much it. It's really not really exciting video. Here's the trunk. This is what the trunk looks like with no paint on it. It's kind of hard to be exciting when these guys are so quiet today.
We're focused.
They're focused.
There's a lot of little nooks and crannies to get into.
We're down to the little stuff now, which is what takes all the time.
So Rick had people asking him about our last video. The sound effects were a little much. Complaints or just laughter?
A little of both.
A little of both. Okay, we won't do those anymore. I was debating it, questioning it.
Trial and error.
Yeah, we're learning here. But we think we actually getting a lot of response
We get
for our
some
podcast
rock.
now. We got it down there, so we'll have to take care of that. That's going to have to be welded.
Yep, we got a little bit of rock down here. We're finding it as we go.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark a couple of these small spots, cut them out now, get this thing in epoxy, and then just address these spots one at a time. This way this thing's not sitting getting moisture on it. One cool thing you're going to see is this one here. I know we're doing everything wrong. We're stripping it down in the spray booth, but we're a little confined today. So it's going right into epoxy. Once this thing's stripped down, we'll show you an epoxy. But this one's going bare metal epoxy, the way a shop really wants to do it, because then you can kind of guarantee everything every step of the way. We're going to show you a couple other ones that we're going to be going on. So we have the Corvette here, which obviously we're not stripping it down under the paint. This one's going to be sanded down and primered. We're putting a 2-to-1 primer on there. And then we actually have the Z28. What we're going to do with that is we're just going to do a nice paint job on it. We're not stripping it down to bare metal. Most shops don't like doing that because you can't really warranty what's underneath it, but it also adds a lot of money when you strip these things down to bare metal. So you're going to kind of get to see the best of both worlds. You're going to get to see us actually do it bare metal, so you can see how we can warranty it. You're also going to get to see us do it on top of paint, and then you're also going to get to see us do it on a fiberglass car. And fiberglass cars are really cool because you're basically, the older Corvettes were a polyester fiberglass. A lot of the products we use are a polyester base, so you're putting polyester on polyester, so it's really good. And then we're kind of going to walk through and show you every step of everything we do. So I almost forgot, enough with that, because you actually probably wanted to see, if you watched the previous video, you probably wanted to see the hole in the top of the Hurst. So I know I just showed you a video of the car done, but I forgot we actually had some footage of the roof getting cut out. So now you can see where it's cut out and what we found behind it. We did open it up. You found there was a tremendous amount of rust inside that hole. There was actually a lot of fiberglass reinforced body filler inside that hole as well, clumped up. So we scraped all that out, cleaned it up, etched it, got rid of all of the rust, then went in and put a weld-through primer on there. We used a zinc weld-through primer, and it was silver, so it looks like it's just bare metal. That's why I'm holding up the can to show you that it was actually a weld-through primer. And then from there, welded the whole thing up, ground it down, made it look good. There was a lot of warpage in there, and then some of the sheet metal ended up being a little thin, so I had to actually cut it and go a little bit further. There's a little wave, a little divot in there, which I'm going to pull up with the stud gun, but now there's no holes. So when you bring your car in, because it has rust holes, most people want it to leave with 0 holes. Not 1, not 2, but 0 holes. So now this one is like that, no holes, ready for epoxy. Now we're also trying to keep these videos a little more consistent now, giving you guys a lot more information, a lot more of what's going on. So this week we're actually going to be working on the Dodge Ram 2500, the green one, doing the interior, trying to finish up the last few final details. However, I guess we're going to add a few more things to it possibly, but for now we're just going to wrap up everything we have to do and get that part done. So we've got a lot of projects. We're also going to put the windows, electric window conversion into the 2000 F550. So we're trying to do a lot of videos at the same time and put them up. So you might have to bounce back and forth between our channels if you like truck stuff or motorcycle stuff to see the different content. So please remember to do that. Atomic Auto Works for cars, Atomic Cycle Works for motorcycles, and Atomic Truck Works for trucks. It's pretty simple, right? Oh, and another update is the podcast. We should have our podcast running again next week, possibly this week. We're almost done with what we were doing on the podcast studio, just trying to up it up a little bit, do a little bit more, make it look a little better, trying to get the lighting a little bit better. Once we get that done, we're going to move to getting better audio and actually hooking up our microphones. But I think at that point, we might need someone who knows what they're doing to come in and actually do some of the live editing and stuff. So that's going to be kind of the down the road thing right now. I just kind of enjoying keeping it low key and enjoying what we're doing. And we will be reaching out to a lot of people. If anybody's out there who knows people that want to come on, I'm really looking for people who are hands-on in it, deep in this industry, who love cars, trucks, and motorcycles. We have a couple of people that we're reaching out to, and actually Rick's like, bring on people with truck pulls and tractor pulls and some of the pro tractors and things like that. So we might actually have some of them on there just because it's, we're really into big horsepower, a lot of noise and cool stuff. But again, if you know anybody in our industry who's looking, who might want to just talk about what they're doing and promote it a little bit, we'd love to have them on here. So please tell a friend, tell someone.